Hello my dear students, I welcome you all to my English class. Today we are going to learn an English poem of class 9th. The name of the poem is Africa and it was written by David Diop. So let us see what is there in this poem. Before starting the poem, let us know about the poet. David Mandasi Diop was born on 1927 and died on 1960. He was a revolutionary African poet, born in France to parents of West African descent. He lived in France through his childhood and visited Africa only in the 1950s. His poems highlighted the problems of Africa brought about by colonialism and gave a message to Africans to bring about change and freedom. He was known for his involvement in the Negritude movement in France, a movement started by black writers and artists protesting against French colonialism and its effects on African culture and values. His views and feelings were published in Présence Africaine and in his book of poems Coups de Pilin, which was published in 1956. Diop died at the age of 33 in a plane crash. So it is the brief explanation of the poet. Now let us see about the poem. The poem is a reminiscence of Africa, means past memory of Africa, a land about which the poet heard from his grandmother's song. He paints a vivid picture of the history of European colonialism in Africa and the strength of African people. Now let us begin with the poem. Africa, my Africa, Africa of proud warriors in ancestral savannas, Africa of whom my grandmother sang on the banks of the distant river, I have never known you. So here the poet says, Africa, my Africa. He was so much attached that he is saying that's my Africa. And he is saying that he is proud of African warriors from ancestral, from many years from long ago. The ancestral who were staying there in savannas. Savannas is nothing but the lands and forest area of Africa. He is saying, my proud African warriors, you are so good and I am proud of you. And he has listened all these things from his grandmother's song. And he says on the banks of the distant river means he is very far from his own land Africa because he is living in France now. And he is saying, I have never known you. That means he has never seen and never been here. But he has understood and whatever he had heard from grandmother's songs, he had understood, and that is how he is writing and saying all these things. Though he went to Africa in 1950s, he wrote this after recalling all this song which he had heard from his grandmother. So this is how it shows the attachment of the poet to his own land and its people, that is Africa. Now let us move to the second stanza. But your blood flows in my veins, your beautiful black blood that irrigates the fields, the blood of your sweat, the sweat of your work. Then here the poet says, your blood, but still it flows in my veins. It means even he is the descent of Africa, because even his ancestral grandparents, great grandparents belong to the African country. So even he is having the same blood in his vein. He is saying that you are beautiful black blood that irrigates the fields. The people of the African who are working very hard in the field. It is their blood. It is their sweat of hard work which is irrigating the fields, which is giving us good production and everything. And it's taken away by the colonial rulers over there. So he is highlighting that. Stanza 3rd. The work of your slavery, the slavery of your children. Africa, tell me Africa, is this you, this back that is bent, this back that breaks under the weight of humiliation? So here the poet says that the work of your slavery, the slavery of your children who are just under the control of some other people. Africa, tell me, is this you? This back that is bent, this back which is bending down and working hard, is this you, Africa? You have so much of strength. Come on, you should get up. He is trying to urge them, requesting them to get up and come out from that humiliation. This, in fact, breaks under the weight of humiliation. Why are you taking all this humiliation? You have to raise the voice against it. You should not bear all this humiliation. You should not break up. You should raise your voice for that, so that you can get the freedom. He is requesting them that you are strong enough and you can do it. Stanza 4. This back trembling with red scars and saying yes to the weep under the midday sun. But a grave voice answers me, impetuous son, that tree young and strong, that tree there. So here the poet says that this back trembling with red scars, the African people who were working there under the sun, they were having the red scars on their body. It was just the mark which has been by many different things. He also says that you are made to work under the midday sun. You should be brave and courage. You must have strength. You have the strength and you have to go beyond that. You should raise your voice. A grave voice answers me. The impetuous son, that tree, young and strong, means he know that the people who were there under the sun, the tree over there is young and strong. Here, tree is nothing but the Africa. Means the people of Africa are young and strong enough. That Africa is having strengthy people. The people are full of strength. They can come up and you should not bend yourself in front of these colonial rulers. The last stanza. In splendid loneliness amidst white and faded flowers, that is Africa, your Africa, that grows again patiently, obstinately, and its fruit gradually acquires the bitter taste of liberty. So here the poet says that within splendid loneliness that admits white and faded flowers, there it's all alone there. That is why Africa, that is your Africa, and that grows again patiently and obstinately. It is growing again, it is coming up very patiently, and its fruit gradually acquires, even it has got the fruit. It is having the fruit, but the taste of the fruit is bitter, the bitter taste of liberty. It is having the bitter taste. Why it is having the bitter taste of liberty, of the freedom? Because he recalls the suffering, difficulties, the problems, and sacrifice the life of the people that has made them to get the freedom and liberty. So still he says that the taste of the liberty is bitter, because whenever he recalls or remembers that bitter memory coming to the mind, that's why he is giving the bitter taste of the liberty. So this is how a poet is writing the poem of Africa. Well, it shows his love and the kindness towards the African land and the people. So this is about the poem, students. Hope you understood it and you liked it. And thank you for watching the video.